If you look at number 12, they give you two very clear separate scenarios. They give you one scenario 10 years from now. They give you another scenario 5 years ago. The actual question is, what are the present ages of Matt and Jeff? So right now, today, how old is Matt? How old is Jeff? I suggest that you start by laying out your variables. I think it's pretty clear that we should use M for Matt and J for Jeff. You can use any variables you want. That's what I'm going to use. M for Matt, J for Jeff. Now, let's stop and think about what this information does to our variables. 10 years from now. Think about your age right now. Think about how old you are going to be 10 years from now. Didn't you just add 10 to how old you are right now? So Matt 10 years from now is Matt right now plus 10 years. So we'll label this as our 10-year scenario. Jeff 10 years from now is going to be Jeff plus 10. Does that make sense so far? Okay. Now put all the information together from that scenario. 10 years from now, Matt will be twice as old as Jeff. So, Matt, 10 years from now, will be, there's our equals sign, will be would be a future tense version of is, which is usually our equal sign. So Matt, 10 years from now, will be twice as old as Jeff. Still talking about 10 years from now. So here's Jeff 10 years from now. Twice as old as this would be times 2. Isn't that what twice means? So, Matt 10 years from now will be twice as old as Jeff 10 years from now. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's also talk about the other scenario. The 5-year scenario, 5 years ago. Again, think about how old you are now. Think about how old you were 5 years ago. Didn't you just subtract 5 to find that number? So Matt, 5 years ago, would be Matt minus 5. Jeff, 5 years ago, would be J minus 5. His current age, and then subtract 5. Look at all the information together. 5 years ago, Matt was 3 times as old as Jeff. Matt 5 years ago was, there's our equal sign, 3 times as old as Jeff. Well, here's Jeff 5 years ago, 3 times as old as that. At this point, it's entirely up to you how you would like to set this up. If you would prefer to do it as elimination method or prefer to do it as substitution method is entirely your choice. I personally prefer substitution method for this problem. Not saying that you should. It really doesn't matter. It's about the same amount of work either way. But for this example, I'm going to continue from here using substitution method. If you choose to do elimination method, please understand that you will need to distribute the 2, distribute the 3, and then rearrange both equations to make everything line up. So, I'm going to go ahead and do substitution. I'm going to take this top equation, I'm going to distribute the 2, and then I'm going to subtract 10 to get m by itself. So I'm taking this equation down here to rearrange. So m plus 10 equals 2 times j plus 10. Distributing the 2, m plus 10 equals 2j plus 20. I'm going to subtract 10 on both sides. So now I have m by itself. M equals 2j plus 10. I can take this now, m equals 2j plus 10, and instead of m, I'm going to plug in 2j plus 10 into the other equation. So instead of m, I'm going to write 2j plus 10 minus 5 equals 3 parentheses j minus 5. I'm going to distribute the 3 and combine my like terms. 10 minus 5, so 2j plus 5 equals 3j minus 15. if I subtract 3j to move it over here, and I subtract 5 to move it over here, that cancels, that cancels. 2 minus 3 is negative 1j equals negative 15 minus 5 is negative 20. If negative j equals negative 20, what is positive j? Positive 20. So Jeff is 20 years old right now. Take that information back to what you started with. Take your information back to what you started with and plug it into one of the equations. I now know that Jeff is 20. If I plug it in here, we can do a little mental math. What's 20 plus 10? 30 times 2? 60. And then I'll have to subtract 10. So it makes 50. So Matt becomes 50, which is where we get our answer. Jeff is 20. Matt is 50.